Welcome to the first episode of my video series. This is Medium Guy here, and in this video series about Unix and Linux, we're going to have a lot of fun, learn a lot of new things, and experience them with our hands. So I'm so interested to start the first episode, so stick with me and find out more. So once again, welcome to the first episode of my UNIX Linux video series. In this video, we're going to learn the basics of a Linux kernel and what components, what parts does it have, and also we'll try to interact with the kernel using the shell commands. So without any delay, let's get down to work. So as we can see in the picture, we have the hardware, and the first layer that we have is the UNIX kernel, which sits on top of the hardware and tries to interact and utilize the available hardware that is allocated to that kernel. It also handles the most of the tasks like memory management, task scheduling, and file management by itself. So the layer above that, we have the system call interface, by which all the things that exist in the next layer use to interact with the kernel. So in the next layer, we have the system commands and utilities, we have directly executable programs, we have the background and foreground executions, and also we have the user command line interface like the sh, the csh, which are from the most famous shells that are available with the most Unix systems. And in the next layer, we have the user application programs, the communications and network applications, the system databases, and other utility programs. So, as I mentioned, we use the shell, which uses the system call to interact with the kernel and do our jobs. So we have a lot of commands in the shell that we can use. There are various command and utilities which we would use in our day-to-day activities like cp, mv, cat, grep, and etc. So there are over 250 standard commands plus a lot of commands that come with these third parties, and we use them to do our jobs and get our things done. So next to this, we have the files and directories. So all the data in a Unix world is organized into files, and all the files are organized into directories, and also these directories are organized into a tree-like structure called the file system. So we should keep in mind that several people can use a Unix computer at the same time. So the Unix system is a multi-user system, and also a user can run multiple programs at the same time. So we can say that the Unix system is a multitasking system. So if we jump to the terminal, in here we'll have all the commands that are available for us with the built-in kernel, or the commands that we installed the applications and they provided us those commands. So as my first command, I'm going to say cal. In here I see that the result is a calendar showing me the current day that I am in right now. So this is how we use the shell to interact with the kernel, and deep down the kernel would also utilize those hardware that is allocated to it and returns our response to our request. So I'm going to say ls. In here I see that it returns the available files and directories inside the directory that I am in right now. So as we can see, the kernel also handles the file system. So as I mentioned, we have users that log in and utilize the Linux kernel. So if I want to know which user that I am logged in right now, I can say who I am, and it'll return me my name, the username that I am logged in with. So if I want to know which users are logged in right now, I can say users. Also I can say who, and also I can say w, which will return me the users that are logged in right now. So apparently there are 3 systems that are logged in with the names that are shown in here. So we have one root and two other users. So one of them is me that I am logged in right now. So the next thing, I'm going to try to create a new user. So the command for that is adduser followed by a name. So I'll say for test. So it gives me an error. It says add user, only root may add a user or a group to the system. So in Linux, as I said, we have users and they have their own permissions. So apparently the add user command is only executable by the root user. So in order to become the root user, I'm going to use the keyword. So I'll say sudo add user for test. So this is going to ask me for the password to verify that I can execute this command. So I'll type in my password. So as we can see, it is trying to create the user. It asks me for a password. So I'll type in my password. So I'll try to retype my password with the exact same that I entered up above. I'm going to skip all these information that it requires and I'll hit enter. So my user has successfully created. So in order to log in with the user that I just created, I'm going to say login, a new command, followed by the username that I just created. So I'll say for test. Again, it throws an error. So the login command cannot possibly work without effective root. So again, I'll say sudo login for test. I'll type in my password. And as we can see in here, the username that is written is for test. In order to verify, I'm going to say who am I. So as we can see, it returns for test as my username. So again, in here, I can run the w command. So as we can see, the for test user is also added in here because I am logged in with the for test user. So if I want to log out, I can simply say log out. And if I hit W, I see that one of the for test users are gone. And I am logged in with the for test user in another shell. This is because of that. So as we can see, I have some sessions that I don't want them to exist. And I want to remove those sessions because it might have a lot of reasons. So I cannot access those sessions. And I want the sessions to be killed. So the command that I can use to kill those sessions is pkill-9-t. The name of the tty. In this column we have the tty, so I'll say pts-1. So it throws an error, the operation not permitted error. So I can simply say sudo in the beginning, and if I again hit W, I see that the two sessions with the pts/1 tty are removed, and there is only root and me that I am logged in right now. So we can use su command to become another user. So for example, I'll say su for test, the user that I just created. Again, it'll request me for the password for that user. I'll hit the password, and again, if I hit who am I, I'll see that I am the for test user. But the difference is in here. If I hit W, there is no session created for that user. So basically how this works is I've logged in with my own user and I have become the for test user temporarily. So I'll do my job, like for example, I'll hit ls and I'll say exit, a new command. And if I say who am I right now, I see that I am the username that I logged in with. So this video took a lot more than I expected, I hope you learned something new in this one. If you have any questions, just don't forget to ask me in the comments section. If these are all new to you, just don't worry, I'll walk you through all these. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. And with that, I hope to see you in the next videos.